going to link the light reaction to the Kelvin cycle in this video. So photosynthesis is going to be a process where we are going to take in carbon dioxide and water, and we're going to make sugar and oxygen. And we talked about the light reaction taking place, and we made ATP and NADPH in that light reaction. An easy way to remember the hydrogen carrier for the light reaction is it has a P in it. And photosynthesis starts with P. If you recall from cell respiration, we had NADH and FADH2. There's no P in either of those. And so the ones with no P are cell respiration, and the one with the P in it is part of photosynthesis. So we made these two molecules, ATP and NADPH, and we gave off oxygen gas as a waste product as part of that light reaction. But that only accounts for water, oxygen. We didn't really say anything about carbon dioxide or sugar yet. Okay, and those are key because we're trying to make sugar. This whole process is to make sugar. So how would carbon dioxide get into a leaf? And how would oxygen get out of a leaf? Well, it turns out on the bottom side of leaves, bottom side of most leaves, there are a few exceptions like lily pads and stuff, but most of the time the stomata are located on the bottom side of the leaf. And there are thousands of little pores in the bottom side of a leaf where air can move in and out into the spongy layer of the leaf. That is how carbon dioxide moves into the leaf, and that is how oxygen gets out of the leaf. So if we think of our light reaction, we're making a couple reactive molecules, ATP and NADPH. We gave oxygen off as a waste product. We took in water. We used the hydrogen or the electrons from water to drive the electron transport chain. And the hydrogens were used to help make ATP, and then oxygen was given off as a waste product. Now, we're looking at the Kelvin cycle. The Kelvin cycle is going to be a little bit of a complicated process. We'll look at it a little more in depth in a minute. But carbon dioxide, with the help of an enzyme called rubisco, is going to enter a cycle. And in the process of entering this cycle, we're going to use up a bunch of NADPH and a bunch of ATP, and we're going to cycle this thing around a few times, and we're going to make a product from that called G3P. G3P is a special product. It can be used to pretty much make anything. It can be used to make sugar. It can be used to make amino acids. It can be used to make lipids. So any major product, it's not so much used, I don't think, to make nucleotides, but any major product can be made from G3P. The light reaction of the Kelvin cycle must occur simultaneously. They are dependent on one another. You can't store up ATP. You can't store up NADPH. They're very reactive molecules. They need to be utilized right when they're made or they degrade. And so the light reaction has to be happening at the same time as the Kelvin cycle. Can organisms sometimes do some things at different times? Yeah, but the light reaction and Kelvin cycle have to happen at the exact same time. This is a little more in-depth picture of the Kelvin cycle. You can see we have carbon dioxide going in. We're using up 6 ATP and 3 ATP, so 9 ATP molecules and 6 NADPH molecules. And in the process of doing that, we're making G3P. This is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. It's just a small 3-carbon sugar that's coming out of that process. remember that can be used to make lots of different things.